What is it?
Working for the weekend, and I want to see a show.
Show.
Flip on the book of face.
Book of face.
Face.
Yeah, I know where to go.
Where to go?
Man over there.
Oh yeah.
You the music
Scene.
Scene.
Showing lots of
Lots of
love.
love.
For the community. With great
The
advice.
great advice.
Who I should go see.
Go see.
Who's that?
All round radio show.
Wow.
Radio
Show.
Is it a show? Hello? Is it a show?
What's up, Ceris?
What up?
What are you stuffing in your mouth?
Cucumber?
Cucumber with tahini on it. Did I see that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw that.
Literally.
Literally. You like that stuff?
Literally.
I like that stuff.
Literally.
Hey, how
Hello,
you been?
champ. I've been really good.
Yeah,
Oh,
doing all right. Why am I hearing
Yeah.
myself? Oh, I'm hearing myself over here. Let me turn that off. There we go.
I think you're supposed to hear yourself. How
Well,
are
in
you?
my ears, but not here. I'm doing well. Doing well. Getting ready for a couple hot nights for me. But you know, it's definitely roasty. I feel really a little nervous for all those people going to Sammy Hagar tonight at Riverbend and that, down there. I mean,
You're
that's
going
going
to
to
pay
be
me enough money to go stand outside.
that's going to be a hot one. It is. Hope they hydrated
Yeah.
well. What's up, Edward?
What
There's
up, Ed?
Edward.
Edward. Edward Sawicki.
How are you? Rock star photographer, or photographer to the rock stars, I should say. Glenn in the house on the YouTube channel. The champ is here. Roger has joined us.
Yeah.
Yes. Daniel Bryant, how are you? Thanks for being here. Hey,
Daniel.
we got a pretty good topic today. We do. But before we do that, let's get some people to say hi. If you're out there, say hi. Hi, Linda.
Say hi to us.
Hi, Gary, checking in on Facebook. So, yeah, if you're there, give us a big shout out. We want to know who you are, where you're from, all that stuff. If
Yeah.
you're new to the show, especially. Erica.
Hi, Erica.
What's for dinner, Erica? That's what I
Yeah,
wanna
Erica,
know.
what's for dinner? I offered for her to come to my house and I'd feed her today.
There's Bob Klein showing off his drummer arms in that profile pic. Yes.
Hello, Bob Klein. Hello, Linda.
She says 103
Hello,
heat index.
Bill.
Thank you, Linda.
Hello, Dirk.
Dirk.
Monday
It's
Fresh.
Dirk. I saw
Megan
Dirk
Miller,
this
I like
weekend.
that lady.
Dirk's a good guy. I saw him
Hi,
this
guys.
weekend. Hi, Bill. Who else? Monday Fresh. Interesting. Okay. And Megan is in the house. We like Megan. We do.
All right. Megan's a funny.
Yeah. Gary Lee.
Lee
happy you're
Dixon.
here.
Hello, Lee. Lee is co-hosting on Thursday for the very first time.
The Jam?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that? I'm happy.
I know
to
we
hear
wanted to kind of switch it up. And I thought, man, I think Lee would be great.
That's
He's so
cool.
personable.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's great. Yeah, he's a great front
Yeah.
man. Even though he's not
Hello,
always the front
Billy.
man. He's a front man. Billy.
Yes.
Billy, you back from Gatlinburg? Everybody went to Gatlinburg this weekend. Except me. Did you go? You didn't go. No,
I
we all
worked.
stayed home and worked. Yes. I had my class
Okay,
reunion
awesome.
both nights. You know,
Hello,
it
Brian.
was really fun. Can I say that?
What?
My class reunion was really fun this past weekend. We had a good time.
Good. Good.
But you know how those get. I mean, the first few years, everybody wants to puff out and tell all their accomplishments. By the time you're as old as I am, all the people that show up just want to have fun and enjoy each other's company. And it was so much relaxed and just so cool.
Good.
It was. Dorito taco salad. Ooh, yummo.
Hi, gang. Hi, Billy. Hi,
Bob,
Melody.
Suns out, guns out. Suns out, guns out. Hey, there's Ryan Schwab. How you doing,
Guns
Ryan?
out, guns out.
What's going on, Ryan? Yes, Billy's back. Billy's back in town. The boys and
Billy's
girls are back in town. Hi, Melody. Hey, good topic today, sent in by a viewer. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah, it's going to be a touchy one.
It is. Note the scroller at the bottom of the screen, guys. Many times throughout the show over the last year or two, Ceris and I have featured viewer topics. Now, we don't tell who sends them because we don't think that would be really fair unless they want us to and join the show or whatever. But we do try to give a little disclaimer that it's a viewer submission and does not always reflect the views or positions of our hosts or sponsors. Now, you'll hear our opinions on it, probably, and you'll know our views, but not always does it. Hi, Josette. How are you? Josie.
Hello, Josette.
Yes. Gary, how are you? Good to see you. Patrice. Hola.
Patrice. My beautiful lady.
Hola. Yes. So we also have another little disclaimer that we like to throw up there on the screen, and that is this one.
Disclaimer, the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of our sponsors or any entities they represent.
Can you tell we've pissed a few people off in the past? Yes, that's why we
To be clear, though, we also want to put that on there, like the new scroll at the bottom, because people tune in at different times, and I don't think people realize that they can most certainly submit their ideas. And
hell yeah.
And we want to do it, but I just don't think people realize that. And yeah, we will always keep it hush hush if you want us to. Hello, darlings.
We have enough people on here now live, so allow me to kind of give you paraphrase what this person wrote to us. It says, how about this for a topic? Okay. What is your band really worth? ? Do bands really and honestly know their worth? Says, I hear people complaining all the time that venues don't pay enough, but are bands doing what it takes to move the needle? Which I thought was an interesting statement. Says, are they actually doing the work that it takes to command higher dollars? I'll stop at that point. There's more. Well, let me finish this last paragraph. It says, have they built a product with a following that constantly markets itself and venues that they play? There's a key element. Or do they just show up at their gigs with their hands out, basically for money? It's a great topic because I feel like I've encountered both of those. I've encountered those who work their ass off to promote and do all that and get themselves out there in front of people, and their social media is great. Recently worked with a band called the Hall Pass Band, no relation. Well, it's my brother Doug from another mother. But the Hall Pass Band, they're expert at marketing themselves and the venues they're going to play. And they pump it up until they fill the room, which is great. So I think that gives them more value. I would pay a band more in my venue than I would pay a band who never even makes a peep on their social media and walks in and says, oh, $1,500 tonight. And we're sorry nobody came. There was a lot going on. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on.
Well, it's the venue's job to promote.
Oh,
I'm just going to say this straight up. Anybody that walks into any job, whether you're a musician, bartender, whatever, and I hear that statement, well, it's not my job to do it, it's theirs, I'll probably never work with that person.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Diana. Thanks for being here. Hi, Cody.
It's also like one of those things where
Billy.
They always tend to be the ones that complain the most and have the most issues and point the finger at everybody and tends to charge the most. Well, I would say about 9 out of 10 times, they're also the ones that are charging the most. They just think they're just so much superior to everybody else that they don't have to put in the work any longer.
Yeah. And if you're just joining the show again, the topic is, do bands really and honestly know their worth? And are they actually doing the work that it takes to command higher dollars if you're asking for that kind of stuff? And I think the other thing is that comes in there is that was the perfect statement that was submitted to us was, have they built a product with a following that constantly markets itself in the venues that they play? Or do they just show up with their hand out to get paid and not really get, I've heard musicians look at me and say, hey man, pays the same if there's 10 people there or there's 150 people there. That's not necessarily the best attitude, I don't think. That tends to be a problem. Hi, Bill. Bill says it has to be a collaboration. There's no other answer. Do it or get lost. Wow. Bill, hitting it hard already. But Daniel,
he's right.
But right. It is accurate. I mean, you got to put the effort into your product. I mean, McDonald's doesn't run commercials because there is no competition out there. They run commercials so that they can be above the competition. Let's face it. Now, whether you like McDonald's or not, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying their advertising budget is huge. And they advertise. And advertising budget doesn't have to cost a band a lot. It's a lot of sweat equity. You got to put the time and effort into it. You can do it for free. You don't have to pay for it.
You don't have to spend a penny.
No, but you got to put the effort in. That's the other thing. You got to put the effort in. And I think this is a great topic. So we want to hear from you guys out there. What do you think? And Ceris, what's your take on this? I mean, you kind of just said it, but what's your real take on it?
Well, we've touched on this many, many times, but I will say this because I think it goes further than the whole to promote or to not promote. I almost feel like that's kind of different. It's a very simple answer. If you're not promoting your product, then why should I? You know what I mean? Like it's a joint effort. The musicians, the bands, and the venue are supposed to work as a team. Both should be promoting. Both should be putting in the work. Both. It's a collaboration. There is quite literally no other correct answer. If you can find excuses as to why you don't think you should have to promote, whether you're the venue or whether you're the musician or the band, you're pathetic and you're just lazy and you have an ego the size of, I don't know what it is, but that's a you problem. You will never work for me. We will never be on the same team because you clearly don't know how to work as a team and you're a pain in my ass. So we'll move on from that. Okay. So it's as simple as that. Why you wouldn't want to promote your product is so beyond me. Okay. But now let's go to these bands that do they know their worth? Well, I think this also goes back to one of my biggest issues is what's that word? Self-reflection or whatever it is. What's the word I'm looking for?
I'm lost. I don't know where you're going with it. So.
Like, when you have to be able to, man, I'm forgetting the word.
I do that all the time.
Like self-reflect, like realize, somebody self-awareness. So yeah, self-awareness. Thank you, Ed. Self-aware. That goes back to this whole self-awareness thing, right? Some people just think they're way better than they actually are. Some people think, and I'm just using this number, I'm not saying this is the number, whatever, I'm just using numbers, think they're a $1,500 band when they're really a $600 band. Some people think about the number of what they're going to charge opposed to their product. Their product does not match their number. But because they think they're so damn good that they should get that number, it's not going to happen. I mean, it's unrealistic. I can tell by the amount of shows you're booking that it's not really working for you. And I speak to other bar owners and they're like, man, they've just outpriced themselves. Like these bands that used to charge like $800 are now trying to charge $1,500. And you're like,
right.
I have the same venue with the same amount of people with these same numbers. I can't no, it's not going to happen. And they're just outpricing themselves. And then there's these bands that just keep adding more members to their band so then obviously they think that they're worth so much more. But where are you playing? Nobody can afford you. Whether you're good or not, if you outprice yourself, nobody can afford you. And you're just not going to play. So be realistic. I don't care what you think.
That goes to the end of this, though. I mean, it does. That overvaluing yourself as a band is you got to look. And as you were saying, self-awareness, I'm saying look in the mirror and say, is our show worthy of that kind of money? Does it command that kind of money? Now, take out of the equation, you chose to be in a band. Take all the equipment out of the equation. The fact that you own 44 guitars and all that crap is not my problem. I mean, I hate to say that. It's great, but musicians are known for buying and overbuying equipment. And I'm as guilty of that as anybody else. I've got a garage full of equipment, but I'm never going to recoup that kind of payment back. It's like sound guys. Unfortunately, sound guys, if they got paid what their equipment was worth, they'd make $1,500 to $2,000 a night themselves doing bar gigs. But it's just, that's not feasible. It doesn't happen. No.
Now, I'm not saying to underprice yourself, because that's not what I'm saying. You charge what you're worth. You really do. But I just don't think people are realistic about that. And I just don't think people, what was that? I'm one of the, that's not tooting. That's just good business, Marcy. 100%. Can you imagine if promoting your business, which includes those bands, was considered to, like, be proud of that shit. That's for real, dude. That's why you're succeeding. That's part of the reason.
You got to sell your product.
Yeah, it's our product. We gotta be proud of that shit. And those people that go on our stage are an extension of our product, But if we can't afford it, we'll find another extension.
And it's so easy now. The internet has made it so easy to promote, has made it so easy to do posters of your event, all those things that you can put together in no time at all. I mean, look at what we do, both of us, just on our events alone. And you're making posters and you're promoting and you're reselling it and you repost it and you share it and you do all that stuff. And what Bill said up there was share your input, your event on all the free sites. Hell yes. If you get two people, a couple that sees that on Bands in Town or whatever the hell it is, or any of those others, and they come to your show, then that was worth posting.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what you got to look at it as. And
I also think that
good promotional bands get people.
I would also think 99% of bands put out a tip bucket. And I would think to myself, don't you want people at your show to tip? Or is that also the venue's responsibility to make sure that I tell my customers to tip you? I mean, come on, like, you know what I mean? Like, you promote your product. And I'm telling you, the only reason somebody would not promote their own band is because they're being petty or they're lazy. That's it. That's quite literally it. There is no other reasoning that would make sense. You can go into a long spiel and defend yourself and be like, well, she's wrong because the venue should do this. I don't give a shit if the venue's doing it or not. It's still your show. You still want tips. You still want to be rebooked. If you don't, then shut up. Then don't complain. Don't give me excuses.
Well, and Glenn, your comment, you're the exception. The majority of our audiences and the audience on here is on Facebook. And I will say that I know you're an anti-Facebook guy, but it is the option that it gives you the most bang for your buck. And when I say buck, I'm not even talking about spending money, but the most viewership.
You know what? Everybody who says, I'm not an FB, I'm not going to, okay, congratulations. That's wonderful. However, FB is quite literally what sells your business. So whether you personally don't like FB, that's fine. Great. But if you have a business that affects my business and we work together, like I've told bands, where's your Facebook page? Well, we don't have one. Well, then how's anybody going to know? Because my clientele is on FB. This is free advertisement. You take advantage of free advertising. That's it. I don't want you to spend a penny, but I advertise every single day. Every single day.
Yeah, and if the band tells you they can't make an event on their page, then they're wrong. They should have a band page, and any band business page, you have the ability to make an event if you want, or just collaborate with the venue and communicate with them and say, hey, let's do an event together. We'll co-host it. It works much better that way, actually. And do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's that simple, but it seems to be, and this is like I said, I think this is a great topic that was written into us because I recently had somebody let me know that this band overinflated their price, thinking it's like buying a used car some days. And then when the owner shot back and said, no, I can't do it for 1,500. I can do it for 1,000. Okay, we'll play. Why didn't you just shoot them the 1,000 and be done with the shit? I mean, are you just trying to scam somebody out of money or what? I mean, that to me, it's a negotiation, yes, but come on.
I can understand that, but like when people say to me, well, you know, we have 7 or 8 people in our band, so we got to each make this amount of money, so we're asking for 1,500, whatever it is. I said, well, I guess we're just not a good fit because as you can see, my venue only holds 160 people. I can't afford your 7 or 8 person band, I guess. And that's totally fine. No hard feelings. Oh, but we really, really want to play here. Okay.
What's up, Coop?
I don't know. I mean, like, then you have to, like, I can't. And what Diana said, is there an equation out there that shows what their worth is? Well, I'll tell you what. The way that I used to do this, and I do still do it with some bands, but it got ruined by a few bands that expected everything and thought that I should be the one to take the cut. And I was extremely generous. It was based. If my numbers reached a certain amount, then the band got a bonus. So they had their flat rate, and then they got a bonus. And it was never, I never like underpaid somebody. It was just, okay, so you're used to paying 1,000. I can't guarantee you 1,000. I just can't, but I'll guarantee you 800. Let's see what we do at the door. Let's see what we do, you know, and I'll make sure that we, you know, it pushes people to promote. It pushes people to get people to come to the bar. I'm still going to give you your base, but if you want more, then help me.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Make it happen. I'm still giving you what you're asking.
Comments perfect.
I can afford it. But just if you want more, just make it. And I'm also one of those people that if you do great, then you do get more. And anyways, in general, like in some way or other, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Look at Bob's comment here, Ceris. Check it out. I mean, he is spot on with this when he says, what determines their worth? If nobody shows up, they're not a $1,500 band.
He's 100% correct.
He's exactly right.
100% correct.
Because I'm a great band doesn't work. I'm a great band doesn't work anymore, people. It doesn't. If you every time you open your door and you say, we are here, you fill the room and at capacity, then you are a $1,500 band, maybe. But there's a lot of them out there that claim to be, that I go to their shows and it's like the old Arby's commercial. Where did everybody go? I mean, there's nobody there. The other thing is oversaturation, but we've talked about.
Oh, that's a huge one. That's a huge one. There's a lot of musicians that, you know, are booked almost every single night. And I stopped kind of booking those people. I just got to let my dog out. I stopped booking those people because it doesn't generate me any business. That's the problem.
Thank you, Tina. And I know you've had a lot of experience with this at O'Connor's as well. So feel free to chime in anytime you want. It's interesting. It is a two-edged sword. It is the responsibility of the venue and the band to bring people. I don't deny that in the least. The venues that don't promote, or you look on their Facebook page and it's been since April of last year, they did a post. That's stupid too. It's no wonder they're going out of business.
Oh, let me reiterate that. It's equally as stupid. I could never in a million years understand why a venue would not promote a band or their venue. That is such poor business. That is awful. I don't understand. Like, are these people just like, I guess they're shitting out money. I have no idea. But it is my Facebook presence that has helped grow my baby. I mean, my bar is my baby. My bar is that helps support 11 different families. You know what I mean?
And you didn't let that go. When you lost your page and it got taken over, you just rose from the ashes and started again, and it's right back to where it was. I mean, you're not up to the numbers yet, but you're getting there. And
I'm
it's a slow climb.
past 9,000. So in a year and a half,
so
I almost got my 10 back. Yeah.
You're damn near there. And Marcy's Bar the same way. I mean, the tavern, it's they got the same thing that happened to them. It got hijacked, and you got to start over. And it's a hard process. It is. But I think you see that you have friends, you have people that rally around you, they share your page, they do all that.
Yeah.
That's great. And the bands could have the same thing from all these people that we call family, who comes out to every band show you got. Call upon them to help you with this and to help promote it. When you do an event, ask them to share it, ask them to do things. It's not rocket science, people. It's not in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, even if I accept the event request to be an admin for the other band, I still make an event for that same event, because algorithms are different, because it shows up in different places. Like I don't care if there's 2 event pages. You're going to see you're going to see the same event 2 different times. And guess what? That's going to help. That's going to help, I mean, shit. One of the reasons why I opened the food truck, other than because it was a good business decision, but was also because that added another venue I could double promote for both things. Why wouldn't I do that?
Right. Thank you, Stephanie, for that comment. Kareem says he thinks a lot of musicians make the mistake of thinking that to make money, they need to get better at music. And I think Bob Klein said it, but if you're not moving the needle, if you're not filling the room, then you're not a high dollar band. And it's just as simple as that. Sales is in every business, sales is it. And selling yourself is number one. No matter 100%. What you do, because your reputation can, and there's a thing circulating out there that I don't want to get into on the page today, but I will say, things circulating about a bar and the way they responded to a patron back on, and this was an older post that got resurrected, and man, it's gone viral, and people saying shut it down. It's not in the area; it's in the Columbus area. But
did you read his response though?
I read all of it. Yeah.
No. I mean, did you go to the page and read what he wrote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
think it's just also interesting.
It can go viral in a second. In a second. So it's so important to present yourself in a positive light and have people in your corner, is what I'm trying to say. And it was obvious that many musicians weren't in this person's corner, and they were making it well known about their experiences. And that's sad. And at least they're engaging in the talk that's out there. And when I say this, and you said it a minute ago, Ceris, when a band looks at me and says, we don't do Facebook. Facebook sucks. I'm sorry. I don't like being on here as much as I have to be either. But if you're going to do business on there, you got to be on there. Are you still eating cucumbers? I think you are.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So why wouldn't you take free advertising? It's free. It cracks me up when people leave our gig groups. They leave and they're like, they get all shitty against another band and, I'm leaving and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, thanks for leaving the free advertising then on Thursday. We won't talk about you. It's that simple.
I'm sure there's a million excuses, and those come from the people that aren't advertising, that aren't doing it. And I always find it so funny. And I mean, common sense overrides any of your excuses. And there is zero reason why you would not want to promote yourself. Zero.
Stephanie, that's a great statement. I think that's wonderful too, because you'll outsource yourself. You will. If you're arrogant and cocky and you're like, I'm too cool for school and it's your fault because there was nobody here tonight, venue. No, not always.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, listen, the venues are equally responsible. I'm not saying just the musicians. The venues and the musicians are equally responsible for promoting this show. Is it?
And Kenny, I agree and disagree with that. Making concessions might be just really over promoting your first show there or something like that to get in. But I I'm not a fan of a band who will say, well, we'll do it for $150. They're doing it for 500. No, I mean, just to get in the door, that's kind of like undercutting salesman tactics. I mean, I get you want to come in, and I know, Ceris, what you're going to say. Go ahead, but that's just Scott's opinion.
No, but I think it makes sense. So I've had a lot of new bands that they're like, well, we charge this, but for our first time, we'll give you this just to see if we can. Because one of my questions is to new bands is, do you have a following in this area? Because that's a big difference. If I'm booking bands that live nowhere near where my bar is, my question is, do you have a following in this area? Because of course I rely on the band to bring some of their following. You know what I'm saying? So if they're like, well, let's see how it goes. If your crowd likes us, we'll give it to you for a couple $100 less. I'm going to jump on that, and I'm going to say, sounds good. If the numbers are good, I'll meet you at the number that you originally came in at. But it's hard, you know. That's why booking out of town bands is tough, because
25 miles from home is tough. It's
tough. It's, you know, that's why it's only, you know, that's why I steer away from it. And then you move on to these not only do these out of town bands not bring anybody, but they're going to charge me more for their gas. No, that's a lose-lose.
Yeah, it's this whole thing is an interesting dynamic, and I think it comes down to, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, are we really worthy of that kind of dollar in the economic market of bands? And I know there's all this argument, and I don't disagree that bands are making the same or less than they made in the 80s. I get it, but bars are only so big. They can only sell so much alcohol. Now, when if they've upped their prices a lot, that's a different story. But what you sell your stuff for in your venue, Ceris, is not going to break the bank of anybody that comes in there and spends an evening having a few drinks and enjoying themselves. Even your food truck is not priced that way. And because you go to some of these festivals, look at food trucks, and you get a sandwich for $30. It's like crazy. And yours are not that way at all. So it is an interesting dynamic in the economy, I think, and where it's going. And it's all about communicating. It's all about being able to say, I'm a $1,500 band, if that's what you're trying to sell, and prove it. But how do you prove it? And you prove it by asses in seats. That's the one way you can prove it.
The one way that I can see if somebody's a $1,500 band is and I take word of mouth and I'll go check it out. Jason Smith made a comment. I make venue co-hosts as well, but so many of them don't accept the invite. I'd like to address that, Jason. I don't get notified ever when I've never been notified by any event of me being a co-host, and I have no idea why. So I quite literally go to the page most of the time and check to see if I'm like, I haven't even seen these people promote at all. If I'm thinking that way, I go to their page and I see if there's an event, and then I click on the event, and that's when I see that I'm a co-host. But I've never, ever been notified about co-hosting. So I don't want you to think that could be happening to a lot of people, just so you know.
I think Dave's got a great comment here too. He says the term perception of value means everything you put on social media has to look like pros. No cell phone videos on your website or your page. And I tend to agree with him. I've seen some really shitty videos get posted on band pages that somebody took in a bar with their cell phone and somebody singing off key next to them and all that. We've said that 1,000 times, and it's not a good reflection of that band, because I've heard the band and how good they are.
Matthew Adam Matheny. Bars don't care if you're good. Bars care about asses and seats. Not all bars. Yes, we do care. Trust me. Of course, we care about that. But I also care if you're good. 100%. I care if you're good.
And I have to lean on Matthew a little bit there, because I've seen that in a lot of places. where there's a mediocre band at best that doesn't practice. They just get up there and they do their thing, but they fill the room every time they're booked. It happens a lot.
Yeah. There was, when I took over the Bell, when I took over McLeavy's that I turned into the Bell, there were 3 bands that played there all the time, and they were mediocre at best. They brought a lot of people, but they were mediocre at best. And I stopped booking them because they were mediocre at best. Because the bar became more than just being mediocre. The bar became about being great. You know, I'm a music fan. So I'm not saying all of the bands that I book are top notch, but he's 100% right. But there are some venues that still care about being good. Man, I booked a band this past weekend that I knew wouldn't bring anybody because it was from out of town, but I booked him because the talent and the what's it called? God, words are hard. The performance he put on I knew was going to be incredible, and I wanted to experience that.
Well, and apparently it did well. I mean, it looked like it did well. Did they bring anybody? I mean, did the band bring people?
They brought a few people, but no, I mean, it was a decent, August night, but man, they put on a great show, and I'll book them again.
Well, and then, too, because the hype that was out there about that show and the videos I saw were like, wow, I'd like to go see that band. So maybe then next time it draws more people. I mean, I can just see that happening. And what else we got coming in here? Hi, Heather. How are you? Says you have to look for it. I agree on that. Heather sent me an invite today, and I actually got notified for an event, and I had to go hunt it down. I couldn't find it anywhere once I saw the little notification. Well, I finally found it going to her page and hitting the event. So
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Chris Lee, the offer of inviting somebody is there. It just doesn't notify you. I've never been notified. So.
No, and it's hard when you're getting as many messages you are a day and all those things to sort through all that, I think. And let me get to a few more comments here. We're running short on time, so let's check it out. Janice says, I agree, Janice.
About how great Willie Phoenix was. Yes, Patricia.
Too far away is sometimes not a good thing. And a lot of bands want to change it up. I get it. They're like, oh, we're tired of playing the same old places. Let's branch out a little and occasionally go play a distant show. But again, it can be very humiliating and very basically unnerving when you go into a place like that and no one is there because they don't know you, even though you're a great band.
Right. And that's sometimes I think try to get in.
They drop everything for no reason. I think people sit in a little room at the Book of Face and go, what can we do today to screw with our customers? It's like, it's crazy.
Patricia, Linus Tate is also amazing. I mean, if we're being completely honest, I love Linus Tate. I'll always book Linus Tate. But no, they don't bring a crowd, but I love them. They're incredibly talented and I'll continue to book them. Yeah, and same with Willie Phoenix. I knew that he wasn't going to bring a big crowd, but he's phenomenal, and I wanted him to play my stage. Like, I give a shit. I want greatness on that stage. And to me, Linus Tate and Willie Phoenix are phenomenal, and they deserve to be on that stage.
All right, Gary, we'll get your comment up here real quick. That'll hide us both. That's good. Everybody will love it. We got faces for radio today. Just makes sense to work together. We've said that so many times and people still don't get that. I mean, they don't. And why do you think, Kara, some of these larger, I'm going to be politically correct here, but more popular, so to speak, bands as they build themselves don't even promote or wait till the day before the event and put it? I mean, what do you think the mindset is on that? Is there something? Is it ego or is it just laziness? I don't know.
I think it's ego and it's laziness. And I think it's like hidden ego. I'm not saying that they do it. I just don't think people think about it and they don't care because I think it's just their job. Oh, Marcy, our patrons love Linus Tate as well. I mean, they're phenomenal. I'm not saying that the patrons don't love him by any means. I'm just saying it doesn't bring like a huge, big crowd. But I don't care because the people that are there and myself love it. I'm just saying that not every band that I book brings these huge crowds. They're booked because they're really good at what they do.
No, and I've been, and I'll say I've been to Marcy's place there, and I've seen Linus Tate play, and they do have a reputation now after several shows. But the first few shows I was there with them, there wasn't a big crowd, and now they're developing that over and over. You know, the people say, "Oh, I like that band. I'm going to go see them," and that's kind of where it is. But thank you, Kareem, for dropping in today. We appreciate you, man. My sister from another mister, Patricia, thank you. And she's going to see Linus Tate again. See? So they made a fan. They made a fan, obviously, and that's good. That's what it's about. And the other thing Linus Tate does, they promote the hell out of themselves. They walk around on the break and hand out cards with QR codes on them to get to their pages. And that's smart. It's smart.
That's another reason why I enjoy working with them, because they don't take it for granted. You know, I don't know why people wait till the last day. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's laziness. It's ego. It's thinking that they don't have to. I don't think they care. They've been established for so long that they just assume everybody's going to come see them. And maybe they're right. Maybe they're wrong. I don't know. I've had some super established bands that play at my bar, and the first time they played were great, and now it's like hit or miss.
Is it hot in your place right now where you are? Or is your air conditioner working now? Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's hotter than hell in the studio, man. I feel like a hoe in church. Sweating like a hoe in church, I am. Diana says last gig she went to a new fan of the band and said, I want to be a part of this community. Yeah. And that's a good way to put it, Diana. Yeah. It is a community, and it's a great community of people. And hi, Jimmy. Thanks for joining us at the end. And Kenny says, comes down to the bar owners knowing the quality of music they wish to bring to their venue and the style and genre and everything else. I mean, that's their decision. And then when they do choose to bring you, then co it with them and make it work. And you know, I had to say that I mentioned the Hall Pass band earlier, some friends that have this band, and I've watched them grow in the last year. And they did a gig at an Eagles, a private club type thing, but it was open to the public on the band side. And these guys promoted the hell out of that. And I walked in there to see them, and it was a full room. And only because because the Eagles post it once on their monthly, here's our calendar type thing. So it wasn't done by the Eagles. No. It was done by the band. And that's why all these familiar faces were in that room who came to see this band, because they're all people they know. They did the same thing at Heather's when they played Heather's, same thing. I mean, they brought a good crowd, and they're great promoters of the bar from the stage. And I love that too. Don't you like that? I mean, when they shout out your staff and say things like, please take care of your staff, please. And not just the cliche, tip your waitresses and bartenders, but really call them out by name and say, Vanessa's behind the bar tonight and all that. Please take care of her or whoever. It's a great thing. It means something to those people to be recognized that they're doing a good job. And
that makes me happy, Marcy. I'm so glad, because they deserve the crowd. They've been playing at the Bell, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And I mean, people love them,
Heather, thank you for saying that too. I know we talked about that Hall Pass band being great promoters. They are. And Doug ordered a big banner for their band from behind him. He goes, he told me, he said, I don't know what I was thinking. It's like the size of something you'd hang up at Riverbend. It's huge. So he's trying to figure out how to make that a little smaller. Brett Brock, thank you for being here. And he promotes like crazy. Another guy, yes, he does. Promotes like crazy. And Brett, you always carry yourself well when you go into a bar and you introduce yourself, and you're like family. And that's what I love about you and your band is your people skills and your ability to go in and try to sell yourself to people. And sometimes it's a work and a fit, and sometimes it may not. So, oh yes, Diana. Brandon Harvey from Party Punch leaving us with this one. Show love to the venue and the staff that's dealing with your ass. Yes. Amen.
Party Punch. Did you guys just play with that band this past weekend?
They did.
They did, right?
Austin Landing. Yeah, there was a 3-band bill there.
Chris Reese gave you guys a really good compliment. They said that you would do really well at the bell. Well, I gotta go let my dogs out.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to tell people what's going on here at All Around Town Radio before we have to go, and that is a few good things happening. If you missed the show yesterday, 16,500 and some plays on our show Thursday. Thank you for that. Last week's Hot Topic Tuesday was off the rails. Biggest numbers I think we've ever had, Ceris. It was definitely a hot topic. But we appreciate you sharing and being a part of this community and supporting us and what we do on Tuesdays, because it's just two people giving their opinion. This is not the gospel by any way, shape, or form, but it's just what we think. And it's time to roll out of here. What do you got going this weekend? Tell everybody what's up or this week at your place, and then we'll sign off.
Well, we have Singo tonight with our $2 PBRs and $3 Jameson. And then the last Wednesday of every month, which is tomorrow, it's Ray Renee's karaoke. She does a really good job with that. The jam session on Thursday. Huh?
Very good job.
Sorry? Yeah.
She does a wonderful job.
Jam session on Thursday. And we got Lee Dixon co-hosting. So that should be fun. We've never had him co-host, so we wanted to switch it up and do something different. We thought that would be a really, really good fit. And then on Friday, we have the Kevin McCoy Band, which, man, he puts on a phenomenal show. Such a good show. He goes like all night. And Saturday, we have the Hanky Panks, and they're a ton of fun because they take requests. And I know a lot of people don't like requests, but they do it the right way. Like,
it's a blast.
You get to create your own party with the Hanky Panks, and they do such a good job with it. They're a ton of fun. So it's a great way to close out August, and we're I can't believe that we're closing out August, but yeah, it'll be good.
Hey, there's Hall Pass Rock Band. Heather must have tagged them. Thank you, Heather. Heather's going to sweat her ass off calling bingo tonight at her place on the patio, and I'll be there. Heather, try not to sweat too much on the table. I need it tomorrow night. And I'll be there tomorrow night. And I'll be at Mr. Burroughs tonight. It is now called Mr. Burroughs Tavern Springboro on the Book of Faith since they got hijacked. So if you did follow their page, dump the old one and like the new one. Follow the new one.
I'd like to say something about that because people are still not realizing that they got hacked, and the person that hacked them are making. I don't give a shit what side you're on. I don't give a shit, but they're making political posts, and they've like hijacked it to make political posts and whatever. I don't like. That's how bad it is, and people are still commenting on it. So let's just get this out there. If you see anything political, that is not their page. That is their old page that has been. So just go to their normal page. Okay. Report it first and then block them.
Unfollow it, block it, get rid of it.
Anything political is not them. Get that through your heads, everybody. Okay. Amen. Don't judge them for that.
All right, Ceris, we got to sign off. We've been at this for almost 50 minutes now. It's a long show.
No.
But it was a good topic. Thank you to our viewers. And if you did see the scroller at the bottom of the screen, it does say it's a viewer submission, and you are welcome to submit to us. Just send us a direct message here at All Around Town Radio. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got a hot topic or something that you think that would be interesting to talk about, it doesn't have to be a negative topic or anything. It could be a positive topic about something. We'd love to hear it. And if there's just things that turn you on about going out and seeing live music, we'd love to hear about that too. So that's where we're at. Ceris?
I have this or that, but we'll save it for next week.
Yeah, we're out of time, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you being here. Tomorrow, Wednesday, with the band at noon. Also, Thursday, Who's Playing Out, brought to you by our friends at Heather's in Springboro. And every Monday, we bring you our weekend update, tell you who we got to see, but you can post on our page who you got to see, and always include the venue, because we want to shout out the venues, too. It's very important. They're as important in this as the musicians are.
do.
What else you got, Karis? We out. Anything?
No, just thanks,
Goodbye.
guys. Share. And thanks to all the musicians that promote more than an hour before their show. Thank you so much. We appreciate it as venue owners.
We gone. Yes. And remember, the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of our sponsors or any entities that they represent. What in the hell are you doing?
We did that earlier.
I do it at the end, too. We don't want anybody to miss that. Show me some love. Man, you're getting ripped. Are you working out?
Oh, no, this is all fat now. I was ripped. I used to be ripped as shit.
I know you did. But it's all right.
No, I'm just
You still look good. Shoo. Hey, look at this pretty lady. Look at that pretty lady.
My beautiful friend. Hey, we got to talk about women who rock soon.
We do. We got.
Yeah.
We got to schedule that. We got to schedule that on the show so you're on, and we get some folks on that are coming to be part of that.
I might have missed it, but did you talk about the Danielle Nicole show with Johnny and Gina?
I didn't.
Okay, we should touch on that sometime this week.
Did you go to that?
No, I had to work the food truck.
All right.
But I heard it was amazing.
Bye, everybody.